Top 5 problems with streaming-only services. So going to go through some of these here. Smokey makes a cameo in this.
I know why.
Yeah.
I was asked permission, and you needed my permission to use this in such a condescending way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, these are the things that they're going to run up against. And we talked about this a lot at length, but I wanted to put it, and I knew we would today, but I wanted to put a bow on it today.
Okay.
Number 5, consumers don't understand the technology.
Okay, I'm suing your ass.
You see, I have Emery asked. He has 2 witnesses that he could use you on this. But again, you just got a new television, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All of this stuff is available to you on your television. Have you watched any of that on your TV
like
yet?
I said in a conversation earlier with Jennifer, it's called a smart TV, correct? Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean the people who receive the television are smart enough to use it.
Yes. I do.
It's fantastic. It's beautiful.
I do think we need to get you a voice control remote so you could just say, hey, do this, which is possible.
Because here's the deal. I'm watching that Netflix series, and I watch it right here in front of me where I have the desk at the condo, and I love it. And I have the headsets, and it's fantastic. I turn most of the lights out. It's a great series. But I'm being told that I could transfer that over and watch it on the smart TV.
Quite easily.
Okay.
But there are
where
steps.
You should be watching it.
Yeah,
on your smart TV. It's the whole point.
So I do think
that's why my face is on there, and the lawsuit will transpire.
Do you have an Alexa?
I don't think he does. I don't know if he does or not.
Yes.
You
Yes.
do? You
Alexa, play like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
I can, for a fee, because I have no patience with you for this crap, but I will, for a fee, come over, and I will make it to where you can be like, hey, Alexa, open Netflix on the TV, and it'll do that.
Okay.
I
All
can
right.
do that.
I do bring you a lot of things.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
That's your fee.
Okay. Number 4.
I mean, I'll go back for
go
I
ahead.
mean, that's one thing. Everybody talks about the youth movement of how people are watching TV, and I understand that eventually it rolls into where they are going to be the prime, content watchers. But I don't know. I think the Pac-12 probably has some fans above 50 that, or 60 or 70 or whatever that, are diehard loyal Pac-12 fans. They just want to watch their Pac-12 sports. And if all of it's on streaming, I'm sure there will be some element of people. Now, of course, they can get help from, their grandson or whatever, or, son and daughter or whoever. But there is that element of, it's just kind of a new world that not everybody, as much as I think, I just go home and flip on streaming. Like, that's not how everybody operates. So that is a big departure from turning on your cable and going to ABC or ESPN or whatever and just watching it as you would customarily.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, with apps, you can't go, what channel number?
Right.
Because anybody can call me and go, what's the number of the channel? Even if it's a service I don't have, I'll have relatives or my mom will call, like, hey, what's the channel number? And I can go, it's 202. Go to 202, and she can just hit 202, and it's there. But when it comes to ESPN Plus, it's really hard for the older folks. And it's not, ESPN Plus's interface is not great either. I mean, I think it's way harder to use than it should be. Number 4, jumping through apps to see different games. I think if you're going streaming, you're discounting the fact that a lot of people watch TV impatiently and will hop around. And if you're, again, like we said about Netflix, I go to Netflix when I want to watch either a movie and sit there and watch a 2-hour movie, or I'm going to watch several episodes of one thing. And so I don't have to flip around. I don't have to. I've picked it. I'm watching that, and that's it, as opposed to I'm going to watch, this on Netflix, and then I'm going to watch this on Hulu, and I'm going to watch this on ESPN Plus. That's a hard thing to do just for people who even know how to work it, because then you're also losing time of missing parts of games because I've got to exit out, I've got to go to another app, I've got to scroll through that app and find it, and I can't just hit previous, or like I have a last 4 button on mine, and I can just go through those 4 games. I want to watch them at once. That's something that, again, it's also a technology issue, but this is not just technology and older people. This is just how it works. It's hard for people who know how to work it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this would be some great impediment to, people watching ultimately. I mean, if you want to watch something, you're going to find a way to watch it. But, with age, they're like the last point, there are going to be some people who they don't get it and probably throw their hands up and are like, just done with it. But I don't think this will be as much of a big deal on a Friday night. like if you're tuning into Pac-12 football and let's say they do the game of the week type of thing, well, there's not much competition, if any. So, if it's Oregon, but then again, like how many great game of the weeks will there be on Friday night that you're like, I must tune into that? A handful maybe, and there's a lot more weeks in the season than just that. So, I think that on Friday night it won't be as much of a big deal because it's really the only game you're going to be all that worried about. But, on Saturday, when the whole slate's getting going and you already know all of the main cable channels are going to be booked up. I doubt that there's too many people that are just like caring about the Pac-12 but not wanting to also watch Ohio State versus Wisconsin and, Texas versus Texas Tech or whatever the other games may be. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm somebody that jumps around quite a bit, and having to go to an app and then go back and forth rather than just hit last channel is an inconvenience that can't be overcome, but it's one that might deter me from even caring about what's on the app. Yeah.
Okay, number 3, and this is a similar issue. There's no accidental viewing.
Right.
Because when you're done, and we watch every game, like when we're doing post-game shows and I'm back here, we watch every game on streaming. And when that game is over on a stream, it just says your broadcast is ended. That's it. There's no, hey, let's take you to the end of this game that's got 2 minutes left in progress. And then I might get hooked on, I haven't watched USC play this year. They're fun to watch. I'm going to watch that Caleb Williams when he comes on next week. What happens is that goes to your broadcast is ended, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to go pee. I'm going to go somewhere else, and I might miss all that stuff and just catch it later, as opposed to like the NFL does. You know how many like games in the NFL I would not normally care about, but then they flip on the last 3 minutes because they've got that time, and I watch the end of the Lions and Bears because it's just wacky and that you have a good time watching it. That's over when you're just on the app.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I end up watching that's just by flipping through channels. So, that's not going to be the case with that, and it better be a good game to even keep you staying tuned to it. I mean, if you do accidentally intentionally say, I'm going to go flip over to the Apple app and see what Cal and Stanford are doing, it better be a good game. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, and quite frankly, I mean, it better be a great game, because if all I care about is the score, I can just look at my phone and get that.
Yeah.
Like if it's not even a good game, then I'll never even think twice about even going to it, as a non-Pac-12 diehard. But yeah, there won't be like, I just stumbled on this great game.
Yeah.
That's out the window, like you said.
Yep. Number 2, you cater only to fans who already like your product. So if you're going to just go all, or mostly in on streaming, your app or wherever you're going is not really roping anybody else new in. So like I said before, so you're only saying like, okay, we're giving up on trying to get people from other places to watch us. It's not going to happen, so we're giving up. And none of the other conferences are doing that. So now you've kind of just said, this is what we are. And by admitting that, you're also kind of telling the TV networks this is what we're worth. And so that's why they don't want to do that. They may be forced into it. But again, if you're going to go mostly streaming only, if you're the Pac-12, then you're only going to get the people who already like you. You're not going to get any people who are on the fence.
Yeah, I mean, I've already said if I have to go get streaming just simply to watch the Pac-12, I mean, maybe if it's like $2 a month, I'll just say whatever. I'll not even notice that. Not that I'm just burning money, but like $2. Okay, I can swing that and not feel that. But if it's like you got to sign up $15 a month to Apple Plus because now we got to help pay for MLS and we got to pay, screw that, man. I'm not going to necessarily do that just to watch Washington State in Washington. I mean, and to even have to go to streaming to watch that game, I think seems a bit silly. That should be a game that should be on my cable box along with all the rest of them, and that's part of the problem is, now you have to really want to go watch it to go watch it and not just, as you said in the previous one, just stumble upon it maybe or flip through and get to it. Yeah, it's all geared towards Pac-12 fans, and that's going to beg the question of how many are out there and how much money does that bring in, and is it offset or is it worth it for Apple to make the investment, whatever investment that may be, or whoever it may be in the end?
So I'm wanting to watch a Pac-12 game, and let's say this happens, and I can't.
And this is under the scenario. This is all streaming deal, by the way, which is not official.
I can't imagine that's true, but if it does, so you're going to say you got to go to Apple TV Plus. I'm out.
Yeah,
is that what you're? That's
yeah. I mean, and then I'm
going to ask you 15 questions.
Yeah.
about even though I have now Netflix pinned at the top.
But do you want, like, okay, say you've got to go to, but for you, you're not a fan of the Pac-12, right? Your team doesn't play in that league. No, you're a fan of college football in general.
Yeah.
But the Pac-12 specifically, you're not a fan of. So you're going to say, okay, even if you said, okay, I'm because I love college football and I want all of this to go wherever it can, and I've got the $15 to spend, I'm going to do it. If you look down at what you're getting, are you paying $15? How many games are you really going to watch on that for $15 a month?
One game, 2 games, maybe one a month or something like that, right?
Is that worth $15? No,
it's not. Because
not.
I'm the one that deleted or stopped my membership, whatever it's called, subscription to Netflix, because the series I had been watching was over, or I just got it disinterested, and then I bought it for this month to binge watch Full Swing.
Yeah.
And then I'll get rid of it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And number 1, no diversity in your coverage. What the Big Ten has done so well, even though ESPN's not out of that deal, and even though the SEC and ESPN are tied together in the ACC and ESPN, what I think the Big Ten and the Big 12 are doing better than that is that their stuff is going to be on different platforms, which means that they're everywhere. This is a move I like to call the Maria Menounos. Do you know who Maria Menounos is?
She's the one at the convenience store when I'm getting gas.
And she's also the one before the movie who's giving you movie
She's not
trivia.
giving me gas. She's the one that's on the screen,
on the screen.
Right? Okay.
Maria Menounos is everywhere. And you can't go somewhere without seeing Maria Menounos doing something. And I'm sure she makes a great deal of money. She's really good on TV. And she's really pretty, so it all works out for her. I think she was like Miss USA or something. But I want my league to be Maria Menounos, that when you turn around, I'm right there.
Right.
And if you do this, you're not going to have that.
Okay.
You're not going to be Maria Menounos.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
she's a fresh voice.
You got to be a huge Pac-12 fan, I mean, to really get excited about this. And even those folks can't be super excited about the fact that I mean, yeah, it's great at all be in one place if this goes the way that it goes. But everybody else, I mean, look at this. Look at the deal signed by the Big Ten. What was the whole intention of that? Get on as many cable partners as, many broadcast channels as possible. They didn't want to just be exclusive to one party. Now, the SEC is getting a sweet deal. I mean, the ESPN deal, you wouldn't pass that up. But that's also multiple networks under that umbrella. That's also ABC. Bigger than ESPN. So, I mean, they got a lot of different options there. Apple TV is just Apple TV. That's all it is. There's not another channel. There's not another. There's not like multiple. It's that app and that app alone. And so, yeah, there's not a lot of diversity in that regard, which could be super convenient, but is it worth the bang for your buck? I mean, that all remains to be seen. And again, it remains to be seen if, in fact, they will go all streaming. But if they do, yeah, these are some of the issues I'm sure they'll have to contemplate and have already discussed.
So Apple TV on my laptop.
You can get it anywhere you want.
Okay. All right. From Clint Mo.